Hi everybody, hope you had a great weekend. We're on Monday today, day 17 of our journey towards Easter. Lent, 40 days of change. You don't have to be following Jesus for very long, and you soon find that you come across challenges. More often than not, these challenges are in the way of temptation. But Jesus understands that. For as a real man living in a real world, the Bible says this in Hebrews 4:15, tells us that we have a high priest. We do not, have a high priest who's unable to feel sympathy for our weaknesses, but we have one who's been tempted in every way, just as we are. And yet it says he did not sin, and that's the difference between him and us. But the Bible makes it clear that he went through all the temptations that we go through. He suffered in temptation, and temptation is suffering. He went through what we have to deal with himself, and so he understands and he knows about the temptations that we face. And that's an incredible thing, that he, although he's Lord of all, Lord of the universe, though he's God, he understands where we are, not just from sitting back in a studio, in a academic environment, wherever it might be, and just listening and hearing about it, but actually experienced it for himself. Note how temptation starts and develops. James tells us about that in James 1 verse 14 to 15. He explains what happens. Each person is tempted when they are dragged away by their own desire and enticed. Then after desire is conceived, it gives birth to sin, and sin, when it's full grown, gives birth to death. So you can see it approaching and guard against it. The bank robber, for instance, conceives an idea. Now, I've talked to people who have been robbers, and what they do is they conceive the idea. Oh yeah, we could rob so and so, and we could have all that money. Then they meditate on it. Meditate's a word that, like, ooh, it's not meditate. It's just thinking about something for long. And problem is, a lot of people meditate. And a lot of people do meditate, but they meditate on the wrong things. So they meditate on it, you meditate on it, you think about it. And then you begin to form a plan. And then perhaps, if you're a bank robber or a robber of a house or whatever it is, you will go and you'll survey the scene and you'll work out how you can do it. And so the intended crime is there in your mind, and it's building and building. Now, temptation is to think, wow, I can solve all my financial problems this way. If I just do this or that, that will help me. That will give me an advantage. That will be good for me. And it's killed quite easily by dismissing the thought, it's a daft idea. It's a silly idea. It's a dangerous or a foolish idea, or switching your mind to something else. So before we act, we've thought about it a long time before that. There's very few things that we just do on the spur of the moment. But when we talk about premeditation, that's what happens. You plan it, you think it, you plan it, you live it, and then you actually do it. But we can kill it early. We can kill it right away. We can change our mind. We can change our focus. But it's I'm too weak, too easily tempted to follow Jesus. Well, God doesn't think so. And so he's made a plan to help you and I. And over the next few days, we're going to be looking at strategies to overcome temptation. Strategies that will help us to really walk the Christian life. Strategies that will help us not to be bound by any controlling sin, attitudes or actions. And so this is what the Bible says, what Paul writes in 1 Corinthians 10. The temptations in your life are no different from what others experience. That's talking to you and me. And God is faithful. He will not allow the temptation to be more than you can stand. When you are tempted, he will show you a way out so that you can endure. And so living the Christian life, you're going to face temptations. But okay, God knows that. And God has plans for you. He knows that you're able to. So say, well, I can't live the Christian life because of temptation. God said, no, I will help you. I will make a way of escape. I'll make a way for you to resist temptation. Bless you. Have a great day. And I hope you catch up with me tomorrow.